Hello, I'm DeDe, and I'm glad you're here with me for 30 minutes of yoga. In this session, we'll focus on the many appearances of the lunge in yoga poses. Lunging helps stretch and strengthen the legs and hips, as well as challenge our balance. You'll need a yoga mat and some water for hydration, a folded towel, plenty of space, and then you'll also need to move more slowly or through a smaller range of motion if that feels better for you. So we're going to come down now, down on our back. So come down any way that works for you. Lots of different ways to come down. You pick the one that works best for you. You may need a pillow under your head and your neck, in which case you'll use your folded towel for that. Otherwise, you can just carefully lie back and not use a pillow. So we'll keep our knees bent, we'll separate the feet, and we'll angle the toes inward. Let your knees lean against one another. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Relax your back. And let's place our hands, one above the navel and one below. Now, if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes here, I want you to do that. Otherwise, just leave them open. And then we'll start to cultivate that deeper breathing. Try to do that through your nose, both the inhales and the exhales. And just start to push to the background all the busyness that you may have in your mind. And then find what is beyond that busyness, maybe a quieter state. We have our hands on our abdomen because that's reminding us to really move from the belly at the beginning of the inhale, upward into the ribs, upward into the chest, upward into the throat. And then for the exhale, just let all the air go and feel the moving back into its original position with your hands on your belly. So start the inhale down by your hands. Fill upward from there. And then exhale and let it all go. All right, and then let your eyes open if they're not already. And we'll separate the knees and we'll turn the feet straight ahead. And then we'll bring one knee into the chest. We're going to hold on behind the leg. The other knee into the chest, hold on behind the leg. And then we'll point and flex our feet. So pointing the toes down and pulling the toes back, alternating back and forth. And then let's take our feet around in a circle. So moving from your ankle joints here around and around. Get the full circle, so go slow. And then go the other way, full circle. Feel what's happening in your lower extremities. And then we'll come back to the center. We'll take the arms down to the sides now. Press one heel up and then switch. Turn your palms in to face your body, and then we'll bring our opposite arm up. So left arm with right leg, and right arm with left leg. Flex your foot, push the heel away from the sitting bone, and reach the fingers away from the shoulder. One more each side. And then we'll bend the knees again. We'll hold on to the backs of the legs. Separate your feet. Let's go around in a circle once again with the ankles. And then the other way. And then we'll take one foot down, followed by the other foot. And then we'll separate the feet out to the outer edges of your mat, if you're using a yoga mat, wider than your shoulders, if that's a better point of reference. Take your arms out. They're a little bit lower than your shoulder height, but the palms are up, the inner elbows are up. Inhale. As you exhale, your knees go to one side and your head turns opposite. Feel the twist, feel the stretch. Inhale back to center, and then switch. Exhale over to the other side. And let's do this back and forth several times. One more time each way. How does your neck feel? How do your hips feel? How about your back, your shoulders? And then we'll come back to center. Walk your feet in now so they're narrow. Take your arms down to your sides with your palms facing in toward your body. Now straighten out your left leg. Inhale. As you exhale, pull your right knee into your chest. So here's our first lunge. This is a lunge. If you turned yourself upside down, you would be in a lunge. Let's inhale, straighten both legs out, control the movement through your core. And then as you exhale, pull your left knee in and find your upside down lunge. So try to bring your ankle over your knee if you can. And then we'll add some arms. Straighten the legs out, control from your core. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and then upside down lunge as you exhale. Pull the leg in. Now, if you have your head turned constantly to look at me, try not to do that. Take it easy on your neck. Look straight up unless you absolutely have to look. And then you can look for a moment and then look back to straight up. Can your arms go any further overhead? You can bend your elbows here. Do what you need to do. Now let's allow our leg to get a little straighter. Instead of the lunge now, a little straighter with the leg that's up. Feel that down the back of your leg into your hamstrings and your calf muscles. Now, can you lift as you exhale your forehead up toward your knee? And then bring everything back down with control as you inhale. And then exhale. If this is not enough support for your neck, you don't have to lift your head. Or you can have one or both hands behind your head if you'd like. That looks like this. That's a little bit more support for your neck. Now, if you want to make this a little more challenging, reach past your leg. One more. And then let's bend our knees back into our chest. This time your hands go right on top of your knees. Do a hip circle this time. So use your arms to create two separate circles, one clockwise and one counterclockwise. And then we'll reverse. And then one more time, we're coming back to the center. We'll move our ankles. Some circles, some pointing, some flexing, whatever feels like you want to do it, necessary and comfortable. And then relax your legs. Let's move our wrists a little bit, flexing and extending those, circling. Making a fist and circling. All right, and then we'll bring one foot down, the other foot down, and we'll turn over now. We'll come into a hands and knees position. So turn, use your hands to press yourself up. And then we'll put that extra padding under our knees. Those of us that need it, appreciate it, so provide it for yourself if that's you. Now that we're on our knees, you can be up on your fists or flat down on your palms. Let's tuck the toes under now. Inhale, lift your tailbone a little bit, and then exhale, drop your tailbone a little bit. Go back and forth there. With your toes tucked under, you're going to feel some toe stretch. Can you feel the toe stretch? We're still doing that deep breathing. Make sure you still are filling your lungs as if you had your hands still resting above and below your navel. And then we'll untuck the toes and we'll sit back into your version of child's pose, whatever that looks like. Here, or a little further back, or much further back. And then we'll extend the arms a bit. All right, now we'll come up to our hands and knees. Move your right hand closer to your left hand. And step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. If you didn't get it all the way up, take a second step now. And then we'll move our right foot in line with our hip joint, and we'll have our hands on either side of our front foot now. So we'll inhale here. You might want to watch just one of these. We're on the fists or fingertips. And then on the exhale, keep your foot flat and slide your hips back a little bit. Try it with me now. Inhale, lift your chest up. So that's a low lunge, and then exhale into a little bit of hamstring limbering. And we'll do it again. So here's a lunge right here, in keeping with our theme. Exhale as you slide back. Feel what's happening in the back of your leg. Remember, fingertips, fists, palms right now, or yoga blocks. Those are all great options. Here's our last one. And then bend your front knee. Take both hands on the inside of your front foot. Step your front leg back. Move your hands over to the other side. Step your other leg forward. And then find your low lunge. Fingertips, like I said, or fists or yoga blocks. And then we inhale. And then exhale, slide back a little bit. So make sure you have that extra padding under your knee if you need it. Especially when we slide back this way, it's important that you have enough padding. If you have enough padding but it's still not comfortable, you can just go back a small distance. You don't have to go way back, but if you can go way back, go for it. Without moving your hands, one more time. And then both hands on the inside, step both legs back. And let's come down onto our forearms. Relax your neck for just a moment. Let the back of your neck stretch, shoulders away from ears. And then back into your child's pose. So it's important that we give our hips a little break in between the lunging. A little recovery break. So now we're coming up on our hands and knees, and I want you to step the foot that's furthest away from me. Step that one forward, tuck your back foot, lift your back knee, and then we're turning toward one another. Toes facing out, knees are bent, hands come up onto your thighs. Your spine is neutral and long. Push your knees open here. Don't let them collapse inward. Inhale, exhale, drop one of your shoulders down and twist. And then when you're ready, inhale center, exhale to the other side. Keep your knees from collapsing. Push them open. Feel that wide stance that you have going on. In your inner thighs, you can feel it. Now come back to center, shoulders away from ears. Just hinge forward for a moment. Breathe. Keep your neck long and your back straight and neutral. Now, keeping your balance. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, straightening the knees. Exhale, sit back, push your knees wide, sweep your arms down. Now, if you need to be holding on to something right now for stability, make sure that you do that. A sturdy chair, or a wall, or a countertop. Otherwise, both arms are in motion. Feel what's happening in the legs. Feel all that increased circulation and joint lubrication and limbering. All right, and then we come to the down position and we hold the arms right here. With the thumbs up, press your knees out. Breathe. And then release your arms. Now we're coming up, keeping our balance. Of course, we always want to do that. Turn your left foot in and your right foot turns out. Then we'll come up on the tiptoes of our back foot. So here's where we're going to challenge our balance. So make that transition with your back foot. So you're on your tiptoes. And then we'll inhale, straightening the knees. And then exhale and diving down, bending both knees. So we're diving down with our lower body. Inhale, come up. And exhale, straight down. Hands are on your hips. Now, if you want to add some arms, thumbs up, elbows bent. Inhale, take your arms up, right up overhead. And then exhale, bring them back down. And do it again. Now we're going to stay in the down position, but we'll take the arms to the up position, and we'll stay right here. Keep breathing. Feel the work happening in your legs. If you're too low, you can come up a little higher. Make it feel at least a little bit pleasant, not like too much work. And then release the arms. And then once again, keeping your balance, let's change sides. Turn your right toes in, left toes out. As usual, you still want your feet on a railroad track. Make the transition up onto the tiptoes of your back foot. And then we'll come down. Exhale there. This time the arms sweep forward and up as we inhale. And then forward and down as we exhale. So if you need your elbows bent here, even very, very bent here, that's totally fine. You can do like an opening goalpost shape. But if your elbows straight is comfortable for your shoulders, then you can do it with straighter elbows. One more. Now we stay in the down position, and then we bring our arms to a more upward position. And we stay here. Lots of breathing, calm thoughts, soft eye gaze. And then we bring the arms down and we rise up and we return to center. This time the feet are more straight ahead and parallel with one another. You can keep your knees soft here if you need to. Take your hands down to the seat of a sturdy chair or to some yoga blocks or to your fingertips on the floor, or whatever you can manage here. Let go of any tension in your neck or your shoulders. We won't be here very long. And then we turn the toes out, bend the knees. Once again, transfer your hands up onto your thighs. Stay here for a moment. Take a couple of breaths. And now we'll get into our next lunging position. So we're standing up, turning your left toes in, right toes turn out. We'll come to warrior two. So level your pelvic bones out all the way around. They're level. And then your arms can come up, thumbs up. This right knee is over the ankle, but your navel and your heart are still facing straight toward me. See if you can manage that. You can look out toward your front hand, or you can keep looking toward me. You can look back toward your back hand. Something different. Now let's take our left hand and place it right on our left hip, shoulder relaxed. Inhale. Turn your right palm up, and as you exhale, lean back into a side bend. Now we didn't change our right knee. It's still over the ankle. It's still where it was. Try to create lots of stretch along the right side of your torso, a little bit of compression on the left side of your torso. Keep your balance. Again, keep your front knee over your ankle. And then let's come up. And then we'll switch. So turn your right toes in, left toes out. Bend your front knee and find the levelness through your pelvis. Arms come up and out. So practice right now that front knee alignment, your left knee in this case, directly over your ankle or as close as you can get without letting it collapse inward. So you have to feel that from your groin, inner thigh area opening. Looking forward, looking at me, looking backward. What feels best for you? And then your right hand goes on your hip. Keep this front knee where we started. Inhale, turn your left palm up. On the exhale, lean back. And breathe. You want your top arm bent? That's always okay. You never have to straighten your top arm. You never have to straighten your bottom arm. Whatever feels good for your shoulder is what you want to do. And then we're coming back up. And we're turning to face one another. And then we're going to heel, toe, the feet in closer. So now, put one hand on your leg. Get rid of your extra padding if you still had it there like I did. And then we'll bring the feet the rest of the way in. Mountain pose. Stack your ears over your shoulders over your hips over your knees, and your knees over your ankles. Then we'll turn the palms forward, the inner elbows forward. And we'll close the eyes for a moment. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, by all means, keep your eyes open. I want you to tune into your feet, the weight distribution across your feet. Make it even. All right, and then let your eyes open. So again, I encourage you to go next to a wall, a countertop, or a sturdy chair if you need to here. Take your right foot back and then tuck your pelvis forward. So the bottom of your pelvis comes forward. Feel the stretch in the front of your hip. Now, if you want to feel even more stretch, pick up your foot by bending your knee. And if you want to feel even more stretch and you're comfortable doing it, grab onto your ankle. That's an option though. You don't have to do that. You can keep your foot down. You can bend your knee without holding your ankle, or you can hold your ankle. We can take our left arm out as a counterbalance. Now let's do the other side. Lunging takes a lot of strength and stability in our hips and our legs, so it's good to stretch them. Take your leg back, tuck your pelvis forward. Maybe you bend your knee, maybe you don't. Maybe you hold your ankle, maybe you don't. Take your right arm out now as a counterbalance. Also, you can flex your foot. If you're holding your ankle, that makes it quite a bit easier to hold on to your ankle. And then bring your left leg across in front. Push your hips out to the right and take your right arm up and over. Your left hand is here supporting you on your hip. Push your hips as far out to the right as you can to bring the stretch from your waist down into your hip and maybe even into the side of your thigh. And then we'll switch. Take your right leg and cross it in front. Right hand on your hip. Left arm over. Push your hips out to the left this time. Try to use your breathing to help you stretch and lengthen better. Each time you exhale, try to surrender a little bit more into the stretch. And then we're coming all the way up. We're stepping the feet underneath the hips. With the thumbs up now, draw the arms back. Keep going back, keep going back. As far back as you can without elevating your shoulders. So reset your shoulders if they started to come up. And then release that and roll your shoulders up and back and down. All right, so how did that feel? Did you feel how doing lunging moves can make your legs stronger, more stable, and more flexible? I hope that you did feel that. As usual, thank you for joining me, and until next time, be well.